I think Bitcoin's so big that I talk about sovereign nations. That's the part I'm trying to wrap my head around. You know, this reminds me so much, because I was there, of internet startup life 99. You know, there's such an opportunity for a land grab, cash grab, and you have seen people with large audiences come out with, you know, commissioned a digital artist, put their name on it, and have, you know, extracted a lot of dollars from their fan base. And I think the concern I have there is it's a nice short-term transaction if that's what your goal is. But I think if you leave a fan base holding the bag, you know, that can't work out in the long term. And so for me, I walked in very eyes wide open, knowing that in the beginning of this year, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this. This is a real thing, you know. And I've been, you know, I was an investor in Ethereum back in 17, pretty actively. I've been watching the space for a while, but much like everything I do, including what I'm doing with VR now, I'm taking meetings, I'm watching the new Oculus stuff, I'm looking at startups, but I won't put out a lot of content on it because I don't want to say things that end up being wrong, because that's hurts your reputation. And so, you know, for all my yapping, I do quite a bit of listening and thinking before I start yapping heavily.
When you're trying to become successful, there's going to be so many things that you want to figure out and you want to do all with yourself. And you need to do that. You don't need to rely on anybody when you're trying to become successful. Yes, it is nice to have those around you who are willing to help you and be nice to you and be able to help you along the way and assist you in ways that you didn't know that you needed. But you need to make sure that you're doing it all for yourself, and you're not doing this for anybody else but you. You're trying to further your own goals in your own life because you want to be in charge. You want to be the person making all the decisions, and that's the way it needs to be. So when it comes to investments and whatnot, you need to make sure that you're taking charge and you're doing whatever it is that you genuinely think is the best decision for you. Because when it comes to your money, it's your money and nobody else's. You put in all the hard work and all the time and all the energy to make sure that that is your money. Your investments should replicate that same view. Even when it comes to things such as Bitcoin and NFTs, it's all about what you want to do, and nobody else can make you do anything that you don't want to do. So do whatever you believe deep down is the most important thing for you and the most efficient thing in your life, so that you can make sure you're using the best of your money to make money for yourself. Because when you get your money to make money for you, you're doing big things, and that's an easy way to become successful.
Now, look at this. Look at the collectabilities and the tchotchkes. People know I'm garage sailing. You know, I've been talking about buying intellectual property. I'm a sports card kid. I am absolutely more intuitive to an NFT than I am in trading currencies, right? I have my emails and my confirmations of my Bitcoin purchase in 2014. I think Bitcoin's so big that I talk about sovereign nations. That's the part I'm trying to wrap my head around. I am incredibly more intuitive to the NFT because it comes with intellectual property, it comes with marketing dynamics, it comes with real life experience, and it comes with actual community building and demand generation. When it comes to Doge or Bitcoin or Litecoin or everything else that people are, you know, focusing on, I'm not as good at that. You know, I'm not as great. You know, I don't even like, almost every public stock I own is because I was such an early investor with so many things that went on to become iconic. That's not where I get excitement or where I have knowledge. NFT stands for non-fungible token. It's a digital asset that shows provenance on the blockchain. You know, a lot of times I use the analogy of like, is a blue check on Instagram worth anything? And people are like, wait a minute. Or with people in their 40s and 50s, I'm like, do you have a kid who's buying a Fortnite skin or asking you for a credit card to do something on 2K or Madden? So it's a digital currency. Alternative investing is just a game of time. You know, this is about individuals, it's about organizations, this network, you know, it's about articles being written, it's about people getting used to it. Again, like any technology, cell phones, the internet, video games, it's all the same curve. You have early users and just time, because when it's the truth, it will always win in the end. I'm uncomfortable with predicting, but I am pretty convinced that the NFT thing is here forever. The idea of caring about digital assets, I think, only accelerates. The Bitcoin sell-offs are minor. I mean, where Bitcoin is right now in comparison, you're talking about normality. I think the GameStop situation was so unique in so many different ways, and how they come back financially and emotionally is going to come down to who they are as a human being. I think the same person that is undereducated and just rides a wave on emotion and hype may be in a vulnerable spot to deal with the downside of that. Others took calculated risks. My hope is that they see the big picture and don't value money enough and are able to move on because they're happy as a human, not worried about an extra dollar in their bank account. There's a lot of places where I've been offered incredible opportunities that seemed on paper, but I just genuinely didn't fully understand it. You have a ton of people right now putting money into the public market, putting money into cryptos, putting money into startups, and really they're chasing the momentum of the conversation that the media outlets are talking about, that social media is talking about, that forums are talking about, communities are talking about.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section down below.